We're here at IDEX 2019 and I'm speaking to Paul Harris, Director of Product Line and Marketing, Protected Vehicles, Thales Australia. Paul, we're standing beside an example of Hawkei. Could you bring us up to date with Australia's Land 121 Phase 4, for which Hawkei was selected?
Yeah, Shaun, look, thank you. The Hawkei program is progressing well. We're currently in production in Australia, and we're moving up to full rate production later this year for a delivery of 1,100 vehicles in total.
And you say you're moving up to full rate production. Under the low rate production contract, how many vehicles have been delivered, and what are the Australian Army doing with them?
Sure. At this stage, we've rolled out about 70 vehicles, and in the initial phases of the introduction of the platform, the Australian Army is conducting training of the operators and of the maintainers so that they can widen the distribution of the vehicle throughout the wider Army once the training has been completed.
And for those that might not necessarily be overly familiar with Hawkei, could you talk us through the design of the vehicle, the advantages of the vehicle, right down to the aggregates, the driveline, the protection capsule, that sort of thing?
Certainly. Look, Hawkei is a 7.5 tonne 4x4 protected tactical vehicle. It was designed for the 21st century battlefield with demands on higher levels of survivability, more payload and new generation C4I capabilities with the increasing needs for digitisation. Uniquely for Hawkei, this is not a traditional box on a truck design. Hawkei was designed from the beginning as a protected tactical vehicle for military operations. What does this mean in practical terms? There's no chassis running along the vehicle. If I look over to this vehicle here, the engine and transmission are not in a linear arrangement, but in a side-by-side arrangement. This enables the entire power pack to be compartmentalised forward of the firewall. This means that the cabin has no transmission tunnel inside it. It provides more space, it provides greater protection because of it, and it allows the vehicle to be a lower overall height for a tactical silhouette. The power provided with the vehicle is a 3.2 litre 6-cylinder with twin sequential turbochargers mated to an 8-speed lightweight transmission and a 2-speed transfer case. That splits the drive front and rear to two fully independent suspension units on the vehicle that provide both central tyre inflation and a differential locks front, centre and rear to maximise terrain, traction and mobility off-road. The vehicle maintains a relatively low overall silhouette but still a high 460mm ground clearance with high approach angles front and rear and a 1.2 metre forwarding capability to provide really capable off-road mobility. That gets the platform around the battlefield, and it's also a platform that's been designed specifically to be helicopter transportable under a CH-47. So one of the key design parameters was to have high level of protection, but at the same time light enough to be transported under a helicopter and have great off-road mobility.
With regards to protection, security caveats notwithstanding, what can you tell us about the approach to the protection package that Thales took?
Survivability is core of the vehicle's design from the very outset. It was an Australian requirement that's universally needed around the world. So the Hawkei starts off with a survivability capsule that's designed to protect the crew from high levels of underbelly attack and underwheel attack, providing protection against anti-tank landmines and IEDs. Furthermore, the vehicle is ballistically protected 360 degrees. It's bulletproof, and what we have is an applique armour solution that provides armour-piercing levels of protection. The vehicle uses a combination of ceramic armour, steel armour and spore liners along with automatic fire suppression systems.
If there was any single particular feature of Hawkei that you considered to be unique or near unique for the vehicle, what would that be?
Look, Shaun, this vehicle's got quite a number of unique design features, but one in particular I'd like to talk about is the electrical power system. Hawkei has an electrical power generation system based on an inline starter generator providing 35 kilowatts of electrical power. That's passed through the integrated power system that distributes this power to the crew through 17 kilowatts of onboard power and an optional 13 kilowatts of offboard power to power systems off the actual vehicle itself. The vehicle also uses lithium iron phosphate batteries. This is a new generation smart battery. Hawkei 4 is the acronym, and these batteries allow the vehicle to meet long silent watch functions where the vehicle can have the engine off, but they can operate their computers, their weapon stations and the like without having to recharge the batteries. Furthermore, this technology in the batteries allows the batteries to be charged up much, much faster than the traditional batteries. So with the power generation, the power management, we're using a digital power management system that allows us to control the consumption of power by the crew selecting particular buttons so they maximise the length of the battery life. All these systems work in harmony to provide a lot more electrical power for the digitised battlefield, and unlike any other vehicle in its class today.
Outside of Australia, anything you can say about opportunities you're looking at for Hawkei?
Yeah, Shaun, we do. We've got great high levels of expectation of exports both in Europe and in the Middle East. The design features of Hawkei with that protection and the mobility and the C4I capabilities are relevant for armies throughout the world. We've got particular interest in Europe, in the UK and also in the Middle East. And we know there's quite a competition going on, but we're confident that the Hawkei's performance parameters, along with the vehicle that's been designed for transfer of production. The cabin of Hawkei is a bolted cabin, not a welded cabin, and that enables easier transfer of production of the vehicle to a customer's country, particularly when the economies of scale justify such an investment. So we're confident that Hawkei is competitive for these export markets, and we're looking forward to further sales outside Australia in the short term.